How's it going, everybody? If you're into knife making or just have a shop, you've got yourself one of these 1x42 belt sanders or 1x30. I see it over and over and over, people having problems with the belts tracking. Generally, it's a problem where the belt won't go all the way up to the top and it's out of adjustment. Let me show you what I mean.
Now, I've read this over and over on forums, and I've seen a couple videos about it where people will have problems getting their 1x30 or 1x42 sander to track. The belt will not get all the way to the center of the top wheel. It'll go to the left as far as you want it, but it won't make back to center, and it definitely will not go right as center because the adjustment screw has just run out of travel. I've got the same problem on this machine. I've identified the problem, and I'm going to show you how to fix it. So the issue is actually this bracket, not the axle itself, not the adjustment screw, not the spring, but it's actually this flat key-shaped bracket.
Now, over time, this key-shaped bracket here that holds everything together, it can develop a warp where it's kind of twisted. What that does is it allows the top of the bracket to be tipped way farther in than it's supposed to. It will actually twist this way. This flat bracket that holds the tracking adjustment screw, it will actually twist inward like this. What that does is it will raise this tracking screw up in the air to where you can't get the axle pushed down far enough to get this belt up to where it's supposed to be in order to make that track true on the belt. A few things you have to do to fix this problem. Take your belt off. Take off your pulley. Your pulley will have one bolt with a lock washer next to the bolt and a flat washer on the inside. Your pulley will come right off.
Now, this is the lock nut on the back side of this bolt that holds the spring in place.
On this Delta machine, this is a 14 millimeter. From here, you're going to want to undo that spring. This is a very strong spring. You want very strong pliers. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to let the tension off this Allen just a touch. That will give me a little bit more room to play with that spring. You don't want to back it out too far. It'll just come flying. Now that'll give me a little more room to get that spring around the end of this axle. From here, we can take this Allen bolt out the rest of the way. The Allen bolt will look like this. You've got your Allen bolt, you have one flat washer, no lock washers, and then this barrel. From here, you can take that spring, move it down out of the way, and pull this tracking adjustment bracket right out. Once this unit is apart, you can see the twist. You know, here it's true, there it's off at an angle. Basically what you do is you chuck this in a vise, put a adjustable wrench on there, and you just pull the twist out of there very gently. But you have to be very careful because this is actually aluminum, and I don't think it would break, but you could break it. Now, in order to fix this tracking adjustment, you have to identify which way it's twisted and twist it back to where it's true, or possibly even go just beyond what would be true. So when it's under tension, it'll go back to true. What you do is you drop the small end into the vise, like so, lock it up. From there, you put a crescent wrench right onto this plate. Make sure it's adjusted as tight as it can be. And then you pull that twist out of it. There. Now you can see that part no longer has a noticeable twist. It may not be perfect, but it's got the twist gone. If anything, bring that beyond true in the opposite direction of what the twist was originally. It'll give you a lot more room to track. But you have to be careful because although this axle is steel and this adjustment bolt is steel, this plate is not steel. It's aluminum or some kind of a gross pot metal. But there's always a possibility you'll break this. So be careful bending it, but you really don't have any choice. If your sander doesn't track, you may as well go ahead and make that choice to do it and give it a shot. Okay, let's put it all back together. First thing you want to do is take your bracket, stick it through the hole. You want to take your spring, get your spring back in place, move that back into place where the nut and the barrel are going to go through. Might as well go right now and stick that nut and barrel through there. And this could be another problem. This needs to not be tight or it will keep this piece from adjusting. It'll lock it in place. But if this is not tight enough, it can also add to that plate kicking out and giving it a little bit of slop that it doesn't need to have. But before we get that tight, let's hook that spring back up. And like I said before, this bolt being out just a bit gives that spring a lot more leeway to go where it needs to go. Again, you want good pliers, nothing chintzy. Good strong pliers. That's a strong spring. Get it back into its groove. From there, we're going to want to take and get this guy about as tight as it will let us. You can feel the tension on that spring. Whew. So, what's too tight? If this tracking adjustment moves up and down, it's good. If it wants to catch and hold, then it's not good. So we want to get that as tight as we can without it impeding. That's probably about it. From there, we'll throw our lock nut back on. Use our Allen wrench to hold the bolt in place. And we will use our ratchet to get it nice, good snug. You don't want that going anywhere because it'll just screw with your tracking. We'll throw our wheel back on. Throw on our Allen bolt. This wheel was actually pretty tight. The bolt was pretty tight. So I'll make sure that's good and snug. I'll drop our belt on. I'll see how it tracks. All right, goes right to center and it goes past center a little bit. We can get it right, now we can see an 1/8 on that side. We can go right back to center and we can go past. So now it has enough adjustment to do whatever it needs to do depending on what the belt wants. If there's one last thing we can do, it would be to lubricate this socket where the adjustment screw sits into this axle. Get a bit of oil in there. The reason I say that is the more this adjustment screw forces down this axle, the more this joint is going to bind. I don't know that that's going to help, but I know it ain't going to hurt it. I can't really see anything else that could be done with this in this situation other than to reorder this part. Now Grizzly makes this identical machine. So does a company called Rycon. I think maybe ShopFox makes it, and of course Delta used to make it. This machine has been around forever. It's probably made by one company in Taiwan, and I'm sure the parts are interchangeable for it. So if you did take that part off, you did try to pull that warp out of it, you know, in a vise, just twisting it, and you did break it, I'm sure this is a part that's easy to reorder. But why should you have to reorder it if you can just fix it yourself? If you've got a shop, if you're a knife maker, if you're just somebody that's a hobbyist and you love your 1x sander, but you have a problem tracking, that's how you fix it. Thank you guys so much for watching Bush Radical. My name's Dave Whipple. And be radical, eh? See you soon.